Hey, Supine, how are you? Thank you. I'm surprised you're up. Let's see here. So how are you doing today? Just waiting for some more people to come in and share this out. I'm a little early. I wanted to get set up. Not real early. Actually, it's 9:03 now. Oh, let me check something. All right. I screwed up. Are you still in bed? I appreciate that, Supine. Let's all right. Why it's doing this to me? Yeah, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Oh, okay. He's here. Hey, what's up, Jason? How you doing?
Pretty good, John. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm just getting ready to share this out. I'm kind of new to Streamlabs, so this is kind of a new game to me. How you doing, man?
Good, pretty good, bro. Pretty good. Yeah, I had my first experience on this the other day. I guess last Wednesday, and so yeah, I really like the setup. As you can see, I got an old school webcam, so it's going to kind of look old school and grainy, have some Blair Witch Project look to it. But I should have an HD one here pretty soon. But
You're good, man. No worries. I was watching all your stuff to catch up and see some of the stuff you did. Actually, I wrote it down because I didn't want to screw any of the names up. I watched all three of them. I really enjoyed it. I liked the Serious Predicament a lot. That was really good. That was really good. And the doll that's a cool one. I want to wait till a few people get in here. We got 4 right now. I got to share this out.
Oh yeah.
Put it on the group and let a few people come in. And then I got a few questions for you, and you can talk about what you're doing. If you want to introduce yourself to the people here and let them know a little about you.
Everybody, I'm Jason Vandygriff. I'm a writer, director, producer, editor, cinematographer, jack of all trades. I guess if you keep up with Robert Rodriguez, I'm pretty much subscribed to his filmmaking philosophy of learn how to do everything and try to dabble because it helps you get your vision as much as you want, like to get your level of perfection that you want. It helps to actually do that, especially the editing process as a director. Being an editor, or at least being in the room, assisted editing is vital to be able to get your vision across, and that's a big thing to me. But I guess I've been interested in filmmaking for the last 20 years or so. I attempted to try to get into filmmaking back in 2007, 2008. I put about $10,000-$15,000 worth of equipment and started doing music video stuff, live performances and everything. And about that time, Consumer HD came out and made all my equipment obsolete. And I was like, oh, I kind of backed off kind of got my spirit crushed. So I kind of got out of it for about 10 years. And in 2019, with the encouragement of my wife, Bethany, I decided to get back into it again. And just especially how economical filmmaking is now. And I watched a Steven Soderbergh film called Unsafe. And then he had one called High Flying Bird. Both of those were made with an iPhone. And I thought, oh, wow, you know, Soderbergh can do this with an iPhone, and he's serious about it being like a significant, you know, form of like a filmmaking medium. I was like, let me go and try it. And I ordered this phone here, which is an XS Max. And that was great. And that's what I made my first film, The Doll, with. I made that for $300, and I shot it. I had one other guy that played an actor at the very first, but the rest of the movie, I shot it while being the primary actor and doing all the setups.
I thought that was really cool. That doll was freaky as anything, man.
Oh, yeah. I got actually, could you hand me that?
Yeah, I'm learning it.
I got it right here. Yeah, this.
Nice.
Yeah, I keep her around. Good luck charm. But yeah, I had her custom made. Of the $300 budget, $150 was spent on her. And I found, gosh, I'm trying to remember her name now. It's like I just went blank. She's from Day of the Dollies. I found her website and her Etsy thing, and she designed this doll. It's a one of a kind, and she makes tons of them, like tons of different dolls. But each doll she makes is handmade and 100% one of a kind. She didn't make duplicates. So I saw the picture of some of her stuff, and then she sent me this one as an idea, and I was like, I fell in love with it. And the one eye creeped me out because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I love the idea of the blue eyes. And as you can tell with the poster behind me, as soon as I blew that up and put it on a poster, I was like, yeah, that's it.
You just knew. It kind of hit you right away. Yeah, that was, you know, for being shot on an iPhone, like you said, a $300 budget. It was really impressive. I really liked it a lot. Is that something you'd want to do into a full-length film? Like, is that like you have planned?
I thought about it. Like down the line, it would be a cool thing to adapt. I always like, besides the obvious influences like the Annabelle, you know, doll and all those kind of things. One of those movies that just scared the heck out of me, besides like, you know, Puppet Master and all those, Dead Silence was a huge influence on that. I love Dead Silence. Awesome. That was a great film. And then like back in going a little old school, Tales from the Hood freaked me out. Like the Corbin Burnson scene with all the dolls like that. I watched that when I was like, 11, and it scared the hell out of me. Like I still remember that, like them, all the little dolls eating him alive. And I was like, that was just a great horror moment where it's just like, oh, so many layers to it.
Dolls scare people. Dolls and clowns, I swear, are the scariest things to people nowadays. I know so many people that they'll look at the Myers that I got and they'll look at this or that I have. But if they see one of the clowns or something, they freak out. Out.
Yeah, I've got friends like that too.
Yeah. Dead Silence was a great one. I like that a lot more than Annabelle.
Yeah, because it's got those cheesy moments, but it's still just so good. You know, just the filmmaking pedigree it's there.
Incredible, you know? Incredible. And then her look, that was something a little different. The doll.
Yeah. The thing is, besides horror, like I'm definitely. I have tons of horror influences. I love that, but I'm definitely an all over genre kind of filmmaker. And that one was like my weird Linklater art house film thing. I like dialogue. That's one thing I didn't really have any in my first movie because I was having to shoot it a certain way to have me be the only person shooting it, you know, directing it and do all that stuff like that. But dialogue is a big thing with me. So that's one thing where everything was it was a grief drama, you know, about, a man and a woman who both loved a woman in college, and then they kind of went away for like 10 years. The guy had married her, she died, and it's like them coming together to reminisce about it. And yeah, just definitely that was kind of my art house movie. And I also shot that for
the ladies. It's one you guys like. It's definitely a love story. Yeah. Try to put it into words. It's your style I really like. It's with that one, it's definitely romantic, but sad too. It definitely pulls at your heartstrings if you're into those kind of things. And I thought that was really well done, especially like you said, you're starting since 2019. You really started again. You've been doing it 20 years or so, and you did music videos in one night. Not to do the first one, and you won an award for the doll, right? That was
first film festival
for a $300 movie on an iPhone. It was really good. Like I could definitely see a broader story to it, like with a serious predicament. That one I mean, you could modernize it, I guess, but that was kind of a beginning and end kind of deal.
Yeah.
The doll kind of leaves you with a cliffhanger. A little Michael Myers 78 was that. Are you going a little Carpenter on that, where it's I made the one movie and that was the finish of it. It kind of leaves you hanging. But I would like to see more to that because I thought it was really cool. I liked it, especially the doll's so creepy.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. Carpenter, Carpenter is such a huge influence on me. Like, I mean, I have a ton, like I said, filmmaking influence all across the board. David Fincher is one of my biggest ones. Just my style is very comparable to him. If you look at her look, especially the color grading I do on that, you see a lot of deep greens and blues, and very much
that somber feel to it with very little light or color. Excuse me. So I really liked it. It was shot really well, considering you're on a limited budget too. Yeah. And I know this teaser trailer for the Red River Expressway Killer. Now that's kind of like you're really making your ways. And I checked out your Indiegogo campaign, which I definitely want to back.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man.
For you guys, he's on Indiegogo. I will post a link as soon as I get a chance to.
Yeah, we're almost to 20 grand. Yeah, we're pretty close on that.
I was like, wow, that's really good, but it looks awesome. I mean, like you said, it's kind of Seven kind of crime drama feel. Does it have like maybe a Saw to it? I kind of got that a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's definitely the vibe I'm going for is Zodiac, Seven, the first season of True Detective, which I'm a huge fan of. I love Cary Fukunaga. His films are just amazing. Sin Nombre and what's it called? He did a miniseries for Netflix. It was also called Maniac, but he directed every episode of the first season of True Detective, and that's why it had like a solid, cohesive feel to it. Like the second season did not succeed very well because besides the story just not being as interesting, they had different directors on every other episode, and it just didn't have that cohesion. Like, Cary was able to have that whole 10-episode run. It's like it felt like one giant long story.
I never saw True Detective, but I heard so many good things about it. Then I heard the second season stunk, and I never went back to watch it. I'm always late.
Brutal.
I'm always late to the party. What can I say?
Oh, but that's good.
That looks. I mean, if the teaser trailer is any indication when you guys start filming and put together, I think that could be really good psychological killer, thriller type movie. I'm definitely digging the idea with it, man. That seems really, really cool. Really cool. I like it.
Yeah, because I definitely just kind of teasing it just a little bit where it's like we can kind of just show just a little bit of like we shot that on no budget, literally went out on one night and shot those things. And I did a couple of pickups with Chance Gibbs, who's the lead actor on the film, and he's also the executive producer. And I did those some pickups and Misha Stevens, she was able to do some voiceover work things because we couldn't get them at the same time. She was on vacation, so I did it more from his point of view, but also like since his voice is so big in it too, that be like concentrating on the haunted nature of his eyes because his character is a special agent for the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, which is basically Oklahoma's version of the Texas Rangers. So you have their top guys, and then you have another Texas Ranger that's basically they work together and they team up and they hunt down the Red River Expressway Killer. But during the course of the film, it slowly revealed that a killer, that the Texas Ranger, who's like this famous criminal profiler, Texas Ranger, he's on the level like John Roberts with the FBI, like the Mindhunter. Mindhunter is a huge influence on this film as well, but that's a lot of Mindhunters based off John Roberts. And basically, this Texas Ranger had one killer he was never able to catch, and he was called the Broodmare, the Southern Broodmare Killer. No, Southern Broodmare Slayer. Excuse me, I got it wrong for a sec. And he comes out basically like every 13 years or so and kind of kills, but he kind of just has disappeared and they thought he's died off, hadn't seen him, and then all of a sudden he reemerges while this is going on. So now you got two of the top law enforcement officials down in this area, and then you have two serial killers all up and down 35 between Oklahoma and Texas, and it's just the killing fields.
Well, there's definitely a history with the serial killer and the detective, at least the one Texas Ranger. Yeah, we'll call it a Texas Ranger because I already forgot the other name you were calling him. But Texas Ranger. But it looks cool. I thought, I mean, from what you're telling me, how you did the trailer, man, definitely the cameras. Did you have? I mean, it just looked great, man. I mean, trailer wise, when like, because I watched all your stuff and you see the improvements in each one with the camera work. I guess I mean, you're gonna definitely learn a lot and
Yeah, I
go
pick
up,
it up.
especially.
Yeah, I definitely picked it up.
How long did it take you to write a lot of these? Like the Red River, that's gonna be what, about an hour long? You planning on?
No, this is a full feature length film. It's going to be 2 hours. It's
Okay.
like we're planning on like a, that was the Serious Predicament. It was the last of my shorts. I may do a short here and there, but from here on out, it's full feature length films, and it's going to be 120 minutes is what I'm shooting for, maybe 215, depending. But it's going to vibe, and it hits hard. That whole 2 hours, there's not going to be any lulls or filler. It's going to be intense. It's going to be one of those at the very end when the big climax happens. It's just going to be, people are going to walk out of theaters just devastated, but also like, that was badass.
Kind of guessing the whole way through. You're always thinking, maybe you think you kind of know, but you don't. Those are my favorite, some of my favorite types of movie. Obviously, horror is one, and suspense horror, thriller. I love those where you're trying to guess, where it makes you think throughout the whole movie what's going on. Like, I love that one scene in the trailer where the girl's skin looks like it's that looks pretty brutal. So that's awesome.
There's so many surprises going to be in the film, dude. I just want to reveal it so bad because I want to make these two serial killers iconic. There's a lot of great Texas-based horror that's coming out now, especially with Billy Pond, Bloody Bills, Circus of the Dead. You got William Instone's working on Butcher's Bluff that should be releasing soon, and we just have a lot of Texas-based low-budget horror filmmakers that are putting out some quality work. And they have some iconic killers, and I want to hopefully be up there with those iconic killers one day.
I feel you on that. You definitely want your guy to stand out, your serial killer to, I know it's hard to stand out on a Hannibal Lecter type deal, but I feel you. Everybody, I'd imagine, as a suspense thriller kind of movie, that'd be your idea. Like, if I ever wrote something, I'd want something as iconic as Michael Myers.
Oh God, I would kill for it. I don't even want to try to shoot myself up that high. I'm just like, if I can be like one of the iconic Texas.
Well, I remember it by the time the film's done, where it's not like, I forgot. Are you a forgettable character?
Yeah,
somebody.
That's the thing. I hope this is like that. I hope once it gets on the festival run, people will be like, it'll pick up steam and be like, wow, these dudes are interesting. There's some layers,
I definitely want to get behind it and support it. So I will be doing that in the near future.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Man. I think it looks fantastic. It really does, guys. I got to get your links all together, which I was kind of rushing through because I do a lot of this. I get back from work and it's the weekends, and you know how it goes. So, but I want to share you out here and make sure that people know where to follow you at. And everybody, if you're not on the Doomsday Crypt Facebook page, Jason's also there.
I'm actually going to share it right quick while I'm thinking about it.
Go for it.
See how many people we can get in.
We'll see how much dead air we can keep going for a second. But yeah, I'm really interested in it. It looks really good. I want to drop those links from that YouTube trailer. And is it the only ones you got out there that are on YouTube? Her Look, The Doll, A Serious Predicament, and then the upcoming Red River Expressway Killer?
Yeah, those are the ones I have. The Doll, Her Look, that, and then coming up soon in October, I believe, a film that I was the DP on, and I also was the primary editor, called Amityville Cult, is being released through ITN Distribution, that we shot with the same group that we're using right now for Red River Expressway Killer, except Trey Murphy, who's going to be my first AD and is one of the producers. He was the director and writer on that film, and it's pretty trippy. It's pretty crazy. It's like it was all shot in North Texas, and it's. I'm not trying to give away a lot of it, but it definitely should be in the title. It's definitely about some cult level satanic shit going on in a small little town, and it'll blow you away.
That's got to be the hardest part about doing what you do, because it's like you want to talk about it and you're excited about it, but you got to keep it kind of top secret. And people, I get you. I'd have trouble. I'd be spoiling my own movie. I already know that. That's just me.
I'm chomping at the bit right now with a lot of the stuff. But yeah, Amityville Cult, besides it being on streaming, it'll also be available at Walmart. Every Walmart in the world it'll be on the shelves in DVD. That we've already got that deal going with that. Barnes and Noble is going to be carrying it on their online store. Turner Classic Movie is on their online store. Will be carrying it, the DVDs. It'll definitely be interesting. And like I said, it'll help support, some low budget filmmakers to pick it up. If you like it, hey, even better. But definitely, if you get a chance to find the DVD and just watch it, it'll be awesome. And we have a premiere for that coming up, actually, September 19th in Denton, Texas, is when the premiere for Amityville Cult is. So
you've been killing it, though. I mean, really, you said you got really back into it 2 years ago. So you're looking with COVID and everything like that. Yeah. You've had your own struggles to have to deal with as a filmmaker, I'm sure. And you've come a long way in the 2 years. I think that's really cool, man. I think
appreciate it, bro.
I see big things coming out because your concepts, your ideas are really there. You got the funding to put it together the way you'd like to. I imagine that's exciting, especially going into the Red River Expressway Killer. I always got to look at that because I don't want to mess up the title. But yeah,
I appreciate it.
So Chance Gibbs, you've worked with him a couple times, right now?
Yeah, this is the next one will be our fourth film together. We started on Her Look. He answered a casting call. Chance has been around for probably 10 or 15 years in the acting world besides doing theater, but he's also been on TV. He had a smaller supporting role on Dallas for several years, the remake of Dallas, and I guess he was in Murder Made Me Famous, which was one of those reenactment TV shows where he played two twins on it, like split screen kind of thing. Kind of what's the word I'm looking for.
That's got to be super helpful for you, having a guy who can really, who really has the experience to be like, oh, yeah, well, this works better like that, just a little to make the big difference, I imagine, for a lot of these things you're doing.
Yeah, because Chance, he's acted opposite Larry Hagman before, on that show.
Well,
and just a lot of films.
There's legendary right there. Let me say hi to the chat real quick. Hey, Galactic, hello, Supine. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Sabuana, Sal, everybody who's here. I appreciate it. I'm going to be dropping his link as soon as I can find it. I can't walk and chew gum, man. So I'm trying
the same way.
I'm trying to do this. It stinks. I wish it was a little easier to post the links for you, but I should have.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man, I'm enjoying this talk, dude. I'm really interested in watching you grow as a filmmaker because, like you said, 2 years, man, you've come a long way from an iPhone.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, because my lovely wife, she surprised me for Christmas. That we had that film festival that I won Best Director at, was my first one for The Doll. And 2 months later for Christmas, she bought me a Blackmagic 4K pocket cinema and a lens, and I ended up building up a whole little rig and pretty good amount of gear with it. And those Blackmagics, dude, they're powerful cameras for the price. For low budget filmmakers. I mean, I'm trying to remember the name of the film, but it was nominated for a Golden Globe this year. Like one of the I think it was one of the dramas, and it was shot on a Blackmagic pocket cam. It's insane how much it's growing, and it definitely expanded my horizons as a filmmaker because I try to go as much of a cinematic style as I can. I shoot a lot of wides. I love ultra wide shots. And if you look at A Serious Predicament, you see a lot of wide shots, especially, that opening shot with the bar of him sitting at the bar. Like, oh yeah, that's.
So I'm with you. I mean, Halloween obviously did a lot of those too.
Oh yeah. Carpenter's a huge influence on me, bro. Like so much. Like my favorite. Let me go and ask you, what's your favorite horror movie in general? What's your favorite horror movie?
You're looking at Halloween '78. Yeah. It's my favorite because you know what's funny is, and I think it goes for a lot of horror movies. Sometimes the more simple they are, the better they are. Like Halloween '78 is the best one because it was so subtle. It wasn't really fancy. It was shot in like 3 days, I think. It didn't take long. I know
it's a short shooting schedule.
And what they did with it was amazing. They didn't have I think they had a $300,000 budget,
and super low budget.
Still sits well today. Just the vibe, and one of my big things I think with movies, and I don't know if you agree, is music. The music. I mean, without the Carpenter theme of Halloween, it wouldn't be what it is. It's just like even Star Wars. I don't think Star Wars would be what it is without the music. So sound and music
that's a big thing with me. A very big thing with me. But that to me is as important as the visuals, is making sure that sets the tone and the vibe. And I've been lucky to work with some really good composers, and because I get a lot of original scores done. Even from the trailer, I had an original score composed by Brian Cravey. who's he's a pretty badass metal musician that's out of Dallas Fort Worth, but he's also a film composer, and that was all an original score that he did for the trailer, and it hit hard. But yeah, Carpenter's
sound was really good in your movies. I really liked it a lot. I mean, it was for a limited budget. It was put together real well with what you could. You definitely used everything you could with what you had, and I think you pulled it off real well. I mean, winning some awards, especially. How long was that? Maybe 5-10 minute short with the doll.
Oh yeah, 5 minutes short.
And that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure that's probably your baby because it kind of got you back into it and seeing it had to be like that one of those motivating tools that's like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm going.
It was the springboard. You know, I mean, I love that place. That one, it's always gonna have a special place in my heart, and her look does too. But A Serious Predicament is definitely was a passion project I really loved. I loved the writing on that because I love the idea of things not being exactly the way they are, and I like the little surprises. I like that and that. You know, there's the twist and there's all that stuff, and you know, the actor Tom Young who plays Frank. You know, plays opposite Chance. He's also an established character actor. That's amazing.
He's fantastic. Both those guys are fantastic for a dual role. And I love the one scene. I don't want to give anything away because you guys definitely check it out because I agree. For a short. It's really good. It's entertaining. It's definitely your best work. Like you see it improve every single time. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm like, well, if he's gone from this to this. I can't wait to see the Red River Expressway Killer. That's gonna be honestly that's got to be so exciting for you though, because.
Dude, I'm stoked. It's gonna be. I can't wait to show you guys. That's all I'm gonna say is just like I can't wait for you just to watch it. Like literally, if I had it right now, I'd give you a screener and say I want to know your opinion. You know, see how you like it.
Oh, dude, I'm really. I think from what I've seen, and it looks like you're gonna have a budget that you haven't had a chance to work with yet.
Oh, God, yes.
I think the writing's definitely there. Once you have those extra little things. I can only imagine the serial killer movie. I got a feeling it's all going to go. A lot of it's going to special effects on that one.
Dude, yeah, that was one thing that was nice about A Serious Predicament is I actually had a special effects budget. You know, in the doll, I just had bought some fake blood and some other things, and I obviously bought the doll and had that made. But I hired a badass up and coming special effects supervisor named Emma Campbell. She also goes by Emma Syatt, and out of Denton, she lives in LA now. She's actually working for, oh God, I'm trying to remember. I think they're the company that's been hired out to work on a lot of the Disney stuff right now, doing special effects makeup. And she's just, oh my God, she did an amazing job for the money for low budget. She did the whole head being back, you know, the appliance for the head being gone. She had the fake blood appliance where the blood's dripping out of Trey's face. Trey's the guy Trey who's got the head missing for that. He's the director of Amityville Cult.
Yeah, and, that was really cool. That was for a practical effect, and it was real. It was pretty intense. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kubrick there. If you look at that it's a lot of Kubrick influence in that film.
There's this, you know, and that's you can see it in all the things. Even that teaser trailer for the Red River Expressway Killer, just for what you did. I definitely, when you said the 7 vibe, because I watched, like I said, I caught up on everything. I wanted to be as researched as I could with you, and I watched that trailer, and I actually waited for that to be last. I watched the doll first, and then I did the look. I just want to make her look, excuse me, and that's one for you ladies because it's really it's one of those romantic type things, and it's well done, really well executed. And then I did love A Serious Predicament. That was a lot of fun. I thought both those guys really killed it with their dialogue and interaction with each other. I thought that was really good. I thought it was a really well written story, thought out. So definitely.
I love the writing. Like I said, I definitely am a fan of, I like doing everything, but writing, directing, and editing are probably my favorite of everything that I do. Like I have that
down to ask you too. What was your favorite part? You know, acting, writing, directing. So writing. How long does it take you to write it? Like, how long did it take you to write? I'll use A Serious Predicament.
I did concept within like I can write a pretty good concept in a day or so and had it kind of spelled out. And then I wrote an initial first draft in a night. It was just one day because it was a short script. It's only 11 pages. And the movie ended up being 12:25. I kind of had it planned because I'm really buy into the idea of the minute per page, theory on that. And I try to keep it, even though I have a lot of quiet scenes, I kind of am still able to keep it around that point. Yeah. And it took that. And I went back and actually when I initially wrote the script, it was 8 pages and I felt something was missing. And I ended up throwing in about a month before production. I wrote out the scene where the head's missing. I mean, he was already laying on the ground. The head was missing, but the part where he gets up and is talking and the practical effect with the blood squirting out and all that, I added all that. And like everybody I've talked to is like, oh my God, that was my favorite part of the movie. And it's just that sometimes the inspiration hits where you're like, I just need something. It's missing just this little thing. Just like the teaser trailer for the Red River Expressway Killer. I had, mostly of it was focusing on Anna Pena, who is just this amazing pop star out of Dallas Fort Worth. She's up and coming, and she played the female role, the victim in the trailer for Red River Expressway Killer. And I initially had it where it was mainly focused on that and her death and everything too. And later on thought, okay, let me go ahead and have this where Chance is narrating as this character and talking about all this, and then just add so much more of the creepier vibe to where you get the feeling, especially the dialogue. 'Cause I'm really big on visuals, but I also love the dialogue. It helps tell the story. And if you saw, did you like those aerial shots? A lot of the aerial footage we did.
Did you rent the helicopter for that one or something? Or
my buddy Trey, he's a really good drone photographer. He does really good drone work, and he just picked some beautiful spots. He went out there one day early morning when the Red River had steam, coming up off of it and everything too. And it was like 6 or 7 in the morning, and he got that perfect shot where it's coming right over the top like that. And I was like, I'm opening the trailer with that, bro. That's it. That sets the vibe. And that's the big thing with me too, is I have a line in the script, but also have in the trailer where Chance says, that bridge north of us is a gateway to hell rolling over the Red River below. But the real river in the killer's mind, it flows north and south. It's filled with blood. And he's talking about I-35 because it's about a 400-mile stretch there that the killers are operating on. And I really like that, the idea of that, that being the big thing, the big focus. And then also the Red River plays a lot into it too. I really like films, From Hell. I'm a huge From Hell fan. I love the Hughes brothers. Besides, I actually love the graphic novel too a lot too. But I just love that style.
Depp, right?
Oh yeah, with Johnny Depp. That one, the Hughes brothers did.
One of my favorite ones he was in.
Yes, I love that film so much, and I love the idea of like the bodies being dumped and they go in the forensic side of it. That's why I liked Mindhunter, True Detective, all stuff. I love the forensic side, but the stylized version of how From Hell is on some parts. I dig it, dude. The Hughes brothers are just fantastic filmmakers. They don't make a lot of films anymore. They did Menace to Society and Dead Presidents back in the 90s. Dead Presidents is one of my favorite films ever. And then
I haven't watched that in years.
They did The Book of Eli with Denzel too. It was really good.
The Book of Eli is a great one. Yeah, that was a good one too. I really like the post-apocalyptic. I love those kind of movies too. I love all different genres. Like I'm definitely a horror guy first, but I love comedies. I love thrillers. I love mysteries. I love That's why I'm really looking forward to the Red River Expressway Killer. Yeah,
thank you. Awesome.
I'm stoked, man. I can't wait for it, and I like the way the trailer was shot because that definitely gave me a 7 vibe. I really liked the way that movie was shot. And also, we were talking about From Hell. It kind of reminded me of a serious predicament. I definitely got a Secret Window vibe out of that one.
Yes, man. I do like that film too as well.
Yeah. So I'm taking you're a fan of that actor too in his own way.
Yes, I'm a fan of Johnny Depp. I'm always going to be.
Yeah, Johnny Depp has done some really amazing movies.
Ed Wood is my favorite. And Tim Burton's done some amazing shit. Like I love every Tim Burton movie, like even like Big Eyes and shit like that. I really like everything he does. And everybody's always going to come back to like, oh, I really love Batman. I really love Beetlejuice. I love all those. My favorite film he ever did was Ed Wood. Did you ever watch Ed Wood?
I did watch it. I watched it a long time ago, and I think I was probably about 12. It was when it came out, and I just didn't relate to it. So I got to go back and watch it. I mean,
revisit it.
I mean, I love Vincent Price, so he's in that. So right, he's Vincent Price in it.
Oh no, it's he does it. Yeah, he does a reading thing in it. But the big thing is that it's about Martin Landau plays Bela Lugosi in it. And
that's what I meant.
Yeah,
it's
but Vincent Price does do a lot of stuff. Vincent Price his big thing was Edward Scissorhands. That's what he was, because Tim Burton loved Vincent Price, and he was on his deathbed and did Scissorhands for him right before he died. It was I love that.
Well, he didn't last too long in the movie either.
Yeah, so, but it was that was like his greatest dream, is to have Vincent Price like in a main role, because I think he narrated Frankenweenie. I think it was Frankenweenie or Vince. It was Vincent. He was the narrator in Vincent, which was Tim Burton's first short, I think he made in the early 80s.
I think I saw it on YouTube, and I happened to watch it one time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. It's been a while since, but it's stop animation, right?
Yeah. He just
pork fried type deal.
Yeah,
he's great ones. He really has.
He's so talented, man. He's so talented. Like, you can tell I'm like a fanboy. I'm just gushing right now. But
imagine trying to talk to him and like being like, okay, I get what you're saying, because his mind is his mind. Where like, won't make any sense, but it is Tim Burton. But the early ones where this is just weird. It's weird, but the artistic side to it. I mean, he's definitely, a Tim Burton movie once you turn it on. You just know it's Tim Burton.
That's what I like about like Rob Zombie, because he kind of reminds me of the same thing, where Rob draws and Rod does all these different parts of it, and like you can tell a Rob Zombie thing from a mile away, especially like his artwork. Like,
I love Rob. See, I'm even a fan of Rob Zombie. A lot of people, it's just divisive in the horror community. I might get beat up, so be dodging here. But I am a big Rob Zombie Halloween fan too. I enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. It is what it is.
I met Tyler Mane not that long ago, and he was really cool. He came over to the table I had, and we talked. He obviously saw I was a little bit of a Myers fan, and that was a lot of fun meeting him. Super cool dude. I don't feel small very often. I felt pretty little.
I've seen some big dudes in time, because I'm about 5'10". I'm not like super tall, but like there are still people that are obviously shorter than you, and you can walk around. But it's like when you see some dude that's 7 foot tall, it throws you for a loop for a second.
I mean, I'm 6'1". I mean, I'm not giant, but I'm not short either. And standing next to him, it's like, damn, dude, tall as hell. Yeah. Tall as hell. Real nice guy though, super cool. Yeah.
It's cool. Some of the people you meet at festivals, dude. That's one thing I always tell everybody. That's why I love horror festivals. I've had my films in a lot of different types of film festivals, but horror film festivals, just the community, the camaraderie that people show, like that's what helped me with that first film festival I went to, was the San Antonio Horrific Film Festival with The Doll. And, I did win the Best Director Award there. And I was just like, that guy, I remember he was running the festival, literally introduced me, and he was like, this is like a filmmaker to watch, like his style. So, and I just was like, that was the spark where I was like, man, dude, like, you don't take yourself seriously for a moment. It's like, oh, this couldn't go on. But like, and then realizing, hearing his critique and like response, and then talking to all the people in the audience, we're stoked in the fellow filmmakers. And there's a couple of dudes from that I met at that festival 2 years ago. I talked to nearly every day that are also fellow filmmakers, and watching their projects and watching them grow. And you get that sometimes with other film festivals, but the horror film festivals, just not that people aren't genuine at other ones, but the horror people, it's just like,
supportive.
Dude, it's just like super supportive, man.
That's what got me into even collecting is, and now you're on Doomsday's Crypt, the group on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of talented guys out there. If you're ever making a horror film, that you could look right on that page and be like, that dude does some great work. That dude says some great work. I mean, so many talented people on there, including, writers and artists and everything like that. So there's definitely some talent in that community for you to research if you ever get a chance to.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like, so definitely I'm stoked with collaborating with a lot of people, man. It's just, you meet so many people who walks of life, like Eric Oberto's in our film. And Eric, we met through chances, mutual friends kind of thing. And Eric was a pretty big industrial band frontman for a while in Austin. He was out of Detroit, and they moved to Austin in the 90s and 2000s. This band called Tungsten Coil, and they were really successful and award winning down there. And he did that for years. He ended up losing his hearing in one of his ears, and he got into the financial industry and did really well there. Kind of got out of music for a little bit, and then he got back into it. And he's done some acting. He's in Amityville Cult in there, and he's also did some of the original songs for it. that are especially the one that plays at the end called Darkness Ever Lies. And he has a music video for that should be releasing here pretty soon. But yeah, we run across just so talented in all these different retrospects, and he does editing and everything too. And just it's one of those by chance meetings, and he plays a demon in Amityville Cult so well. And
nice.
he's so like he's got these haunting blue eyes that are scary, and it's just like I literally Chance said, "You have to be a demon in my movie." And Eric's like, "I really haven't done much acting," and he does really well. And he's like I said, dude, he's got a very good acting career ahead of him.
But he's going to be a good actor. They just have that personality that if you can translate the dialogue to them, I could see him, because you see some actors that might have been doing it for years that never got good. I was just watching Star Trek Enterprise. There's one guy in that show that swear his acting gets worse every season, but with that,
it in.
yeah. But it was like I can't remember because the actor's names that was in the series Predicament, the older one.
Oh, Tom Young. Yeah, he's so talented.
Really well. I really liked how he delivered his lines in that movie. He did an excellent job.
He's been around for a while too. He's because he's a hardcore character actor. He's in a lot of stuff. He was in like Walker, Texas Ranger. He was in a lot of shows. He did a lot of TV work in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He was in Bradley Whitford, the dad in Get Out, and he's in The West Wing. He's in so many films. And he acted opposite of him in The Good Guys. He actually gets roughed up by him in it. It's like Bradley Whitford's a cop, and it was just I remember watching that scene. It was like, oh, man, that's too badass. Bradley Whitford kicked your ass in that movie.
That is cool. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the chat. I see Camp Crystal Cabin 6 is asking, what is the most challenging part of getting into the business in your experience?
So far it's been nice because I haven't had to deal with the studio system as much. We've dealt with ITN Studios and distribution for Amityville Cult. I've mostly just dealt with that as far as getting the prints to them and stuff like that, and that was definitely a learning process. Learning how, beforehand, my only distribution level that I had to worry about was getting stuff on YouTube, but then also getting screeners out to film festivals. But this one I had to learn about making sure I have really good having our mixes and having where we just have the music and effects mixes so they can dub, for their overseas stuff, because the Amityville Cult's going to be sold in I can't remember how many countries, and they're dubbing over in different languages and everything, and having to learn how that distribution system works. And that was an eye opener because it's like, oh my gosh, they got to plan for all these different things, and going through and seeing how they do that and get the DVDs printed and do all that stuff, and how much you have to put into the distribution level. And that was pretty cool. But as far as getting in the business in general, it helps with these film festivals. Go to film festivals, go to horror conventions, get in with people. If you're really interested in that, you'll meet a lot of people, especially like 48-hour film festivals are a good spot. You can meet people, especially if you don't have access to camera equipment, which everybody now with the technology, it's not like it was when I tried to start 20 years ago and had to bow out. You literally have a phone with a camera that's more powerful than anything we even had 5 or 10 years ago. These cameras now that you have it in your pocket. And that's what I told myself too, is like, it's like, we have the technology, we can build the film, and that's the truth, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's my friend Spin 2020. She's been listening to me rant. She said, are you willing to take on project that John creates? That's
like you said,
I've been brainstorming a horror film. I'd love to I love the script idea so far, but I'm not a writer. Luckily with her, she's really good at listening to me talk about it, and then she actually formatted it for me. So she's been an awesome friend. She's been a long time friend to me and a real good friend.
That's awesome. That's how it starts, dude. You start with the pitch in your mind, you get the idea, and you formulate it, you work it out. Even like a lot of people I've talked to that have done screenplays and stuff, they always say, well, I'm not much of a writer, but it's just like, well, you have the idea, you've come up with that idea, so you got the most important part. Like I said, a lot of people, they don't have that light bulb moment, so you're already so far ahead in the game.
Yeah, I had a couple, but this one's a total original one. I had like a fan film type thing that I really like too that's been heard. But enough about me. That's going to be something that, I
like to ask because I am interested.
Well, if you're interested, I just didn't want to cut your time like, oh, well, I'm doing this because it's going to take me a while. I'm not as you kind of caught lightning in a bottle with the doll. I mean, that really I mean, since 2019, like you said, and I agree with you. Just and not so much what you're doing, but even with what I'm doing with collecting and stuff and supporting different artists and different creators and different mask makers and stuff. Having those connections and those people that believe in what you're doing and you believe in what they're doing, and that's what makes the horror community really great. Is you do meet those connections, you meet those cool people that it's like, oh no, hey, I'm going to support you. I'm going to support the hell out of you. And I think that's awesome. And I think the horror community is definitely the strongest of anything.
Dude, it's just like this. Everybody, man, just you don't find that many fake people in the horror community. That's what I kind of like. You don't really have a lot of that, and you do run into that quite a bit, in this industry. And it's just like the horror people, man. It's just people vibe so hard, especially like and you get that's another thing that's cool about the horror festivals. You get to meet some of these character actors that are iconic in these different roles and stuff because they'll go around and they work the film festival circuit, and you can meet up and talk about stuff. And a lot of people, like, surprisingly, when they realize a lot of these people are still working actors that, like, they don't make $50 million like Robert Downey Jr. does from an Avengers movie. Like, people need jobs and they want to have work in between their festival and all these different festivals they go to and all these conventions. And if you pitch them on a good idea, like, people will do things for like lower budget.
They'll listen.
They will. If they are genuinely interested in your idea, it's like, hey, I think we could do good work together, and you'll run across it, man. It's not as out of reach as people think it is,
And that's where I like the horror community too, because there's a lot of the '80s horror icons that were in these movies and they were great in them, and people love them and remember them. To have these new horror movies, these indie horror movies that a lot of people are working on, to see an actress or an actor, an actress that you haven't seen in a while, but you knew them from say an old Friday the 13th or an old Halloween movie, and you happen to run into them, and like you said, you have a good script. People want to see them. Like Tom Matthews was in I'd Never Hike Alone and stuff like that, and people loved seeing him again because I hadn't seen him in a long time. The horror community, at least I hadn't.
Yeah, and that was it's been a while.
I know Sandy Johnson just signed on to a role she's going to be doing.
Yeah, she's been back on the convention circuit pretty hardcore down here. We've run across her, and she's super cool. And like I've wanted to work with her, and I noticed what's her name, Lean Dietz. I met her at that first film festival, the Cinematographic Film Festival. She was there. Robert Ray Schaefer, Maniac Cop, he was there, and I talked to him for probably 45 minutes, man, like at least 45 minutes to an hour, and he was so cool and so down to earth, and he has his little, besides Maniac Cop, he had his nice little run on The Office where he played Phyllis's husband, Bob Vance, Refrigeration. And, that's like,
I love that dude.
Oh God, he's so awesome. He's so cool. And, but yeah, he talked to me for like 45 minutes. He's talking about Greg Daniels, the showrunner, he's going on about his style and like his writing style. And dude, I was eating it up. I sit there, like I said, it's 45 minutes to an hour of just like in awe, listening to the stories. And I love stuff like that. That's why I love the horror conventions, because people, like I said, are more genuine. That's the thing. They can feel like they can be themselves.
Yeah, I had a blast. Like, I did my first horror convention and I said, hell with it. I'm going to get a booth. And it was so much fun. We were right by Michael Bean. He was so cool. His wife, Jennifer Blanc Bean, super nice. Vincent DeSanti was right next to my booth. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Real nice. I really enjoyed him. Ken Sagos was there. CJ Graham was hilarious. Tyler Main. And the great thing was where the table was, they were all there. And it was so cool just meeting them. I mean, we were like 10 feet from Kyle Reese.
Yeah. And it's cool. That's the cool thing, too, is like they'll be at the bar later on hanging out at the hotel convention.
I work with special needs, so I had to be in it after the event. I didn't have to look up, but I'm doing Orlando, and that should be fun because a lot of the Halloween cast, Nick Castle's going to be there, Jude Carton, DJ Souls. So that's going to be, I can't wait. As long as, knock on wood, bullshit don't happen. But
that's the thing with everything. Like, that's what sucked the last 2 years is so many festivals I got into got canceled with the COVID things going on, and the conventions, getting canceled. Which, like I said, obviously, public safety is a big thing, but at the same time, it's like you still feel bummed out where you're like, man, it was going to be so cool.
You can't help it. You can't help. I mean, it sucks when things get shut down. And that was kind of like we were doing Comic-Con last year, because I tried to do the Comic-Cons, Crypticons, and one of my dudes that I take care of is a huge Star Trek fan, and they had a bunch of the cast that was going to be there. Data was going to be there. Brent Spiner. He's actually going to be there next month. Knock on wood, if that happens. So we're planning
to meet him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's my dude's favorite. I definitely take care of one dude who's a Trekkie. Put that on. That's why I was watching Star Trek Enterprise. I've caught up on Star Wars. Any Star Trek I've missed. I was a Star Wars guy. I was,
that's me. I'm more of a Star Wars guy than a Trek guy, but I did like some Next Generation was whenever I was younger. But I'm mostly Star Wars is my big thing. Like Mandalorian was like I've been waiting for the Mandalorian, like somebody to like try to do that for a while. When I heard Favreau was doing it, I was like, oh, they better not screw this up. And then I found out they literally gave him free reign. It's like, you are allowed to have complete control over this project and we're not going to interfere. I was like, okay, I'm stoked.
Well, I mean, like or hate the sequel trilogy, it definitely is divided among the fans. But even like the Clone Wars, people really seem to enjoy. I wound up watching that because my dude's also a Star Wars fan too. So
I love Clone Wars.
Yeah, the Clone Wars was good. Rebels wasn't too bad either. I didn't watch it. I watched some of it when it came out, but I put it on because Star Wars, Star Trek, anything space. Like he was psyched to meet Michael Biehn because he was a big Aliens fan and Terminator fan.
Dude, I love him in so many films. He's such a great actor, especially as he's always good as the good guy or like the rebel guy, but I loved his villain turn in Tombstone. He was such a good villain in that. And he was just like, oh man, when the Doc Holliday showdown happens with Val Kilmer, Michael Biehn, you're just like, kill me now. I can go to heaven because this is just one of those great moments. Besides, like, I love all genres. Western is a big one up there. I love Westerns. I used to watch a lot of them with my dad growing up. Obviously grew up in Texas, still live in Texas. That's a big thing down here. And it's just like, Sergio Leone films, John Wayne films, all that. But yeah, Tombstone was a big movie in our house. And like, I just remember like having vivid memories of that, being like 10 years old and just being like, oh shit, like it's coming on AMC right quick. We got to wait the freaks to have the showdown or they're having the river scene where Powers Booth and Kurt Russell go at it. I love Powers Booth too. Oh God.
I've never seen it in the theater. I'm that old. Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. And it's Michael Rooker's in there. I mean, there's so many good actors in there that it's, aside from Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer.
It's a who's who. It's a who's who of character actors, man.
Oh, that movie's fantastic. I mean, I love Westerns, period, whether it's John Wayne, whether it's Clint Eastwood old movies. You can't go wrong. I've watched all of them in the back of the day because I used to work with the elderly with Alzheimer's. So I watched even like obscure, like 15-minute shorts with John Wayne, and you wind up becoming a fan. I mean, I loved Young Guns. That was a big influence when I was a kid seeing that in the theater. Unforgiven.
I love that movie.
Unforgiven's another classic.
Yeah,
they just don't do Westerns anymore. But then again, they're harder to find, but they are out there.
It's the budget. The budget, man.
Bone Tomahawk was a great one. Yeah.
Dude, Bone Tomahawk. That's what I loved is I love Kurt Russell. It's like, I have to grow this gigantic ass mustache for Hateful Eight. It's like, what other movies can I get to where I can have this? It's like, oh, let me do Bone Tomahawk. And then like, I remember watching that movie and there's like, besides just being a great horror movie and having some great horror flick parts, the beginning's a little weird when it starts out. You can definitely tell that a lot of that kind of wasn't working. And when they get on the road, like they had some really good campfire scenes on that where you learn more about the characters and everything. Like Richard Jenkins' character in that film was legit. Yeah. Like he could have got an Oscar nod for that movie. Like I'm not even joking when I say it.
I thought there was some fantastic acting in that movie, and it was really unexpected. I mean, it was kind of a suspense movie too. It had the Western feel. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one as far as like one of the more recent ones. That was actually recommended by one of mine and Spin's friends, Ronnie Hayes. And it's like, yeah, I kept meaning to watch it, and then when I watched it, I was like, hell, that movie's awesome. That was awesome.
I got one for you. Did you ever watch The Road, the film with Viggo Mortensen and Cody Smith-McPhee? It's the post-apocalyptic film. Came out like 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
I don't think I have.
Okay, so the director of that is John Hillcoat. He also did what was that movie with Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy where they're like bootleggers? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was a good one. I love Tom Hardy And whether you like Shia LaBeouf or not, I think the dude's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
I think he's good.
Yeah, he's good. Intense. And
I can't remember the name of the movie either, where they're brothers and the bootleggers.
Yeah,
that was a good one. I heard they got a fight on set.
Huh?
They do not like each other. They got a fight on.
Yeah, everybody says Shia LaBeouf is very difficult to work with because he's a little out there. When I say out there, a little crazy, but because he actually got real tattoos all over him for his film roles.
Yeah. Did that movie even do that well? The one he got the tattoos for?
No, it bombed. But it's one of those where I can't blame Ayer that much. You know, I like David Ayer's early stuff because he definitely did good stuff with Indo Watch and things like that. And he wrote Training Day. Like, he makes good films. I guess he was coming off Suicide Squad. That was the same director that made the first Suicide Squad. You know, and he kind of felt dejected from that and everything. It was the studio ripped his pieces.
Confidence right there.
Yeah. And he just was like, he jumped onto that one, and it didn't work as well. But yeah, but the movie that go back to the John Hillcoat thing, the guy, since he made that movie, but a Western of his that was one of his first big ones. It's called The Proposition. It's an Australian Western, and it's got Guy Pearce in it and a few other people like Ray Winstone. And dude, it's solid. It's got John Hurt, you know, the Elephant Man, John Hurt.
I think I've seen it. The Proposition.
Oh, it's intense.
I'll have to watch it again because I know I've seen the title. I don't know if I actually watched it, but I'm gonna look it up, The Proposition, because I know I run into it all the time. And it's like, I want to check that out. I want to check it out, but I don't remember if I ever checked it out. If I'd know it if I watched the first 5 minutes and be like, oh, I saw it.
It's intense, bro. It's so intense. Like John Hurt, that's one of his last great roles before he died.
Yeah.
And he gives this like 5-minute monologue that just about like existentialism and like animalism and everything like that, and just like the brutality of man kind of things, where it's just he's like a bounty hunter in it who's like 90 years old and still like getting fools. And it was like, dude, this is a good flick, man. It's just, I definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorites as far as like newer Westerns. But when I say newer, that was like 2005 or 2006, so it's not like super new. But
I'm the same way. Like, that movie's not that old, and then I look at it, it's like 2001.
Yeah.
Because I swear, you know how it is when you're a kid. I grew up in the 80s, and it's kind of like, man, that's felt like it took forever. 90s, and then 2000s just don't feel like the same kind of era. It's like, wow, it's just gone too fast. 2000.
Yes. It's nuts, man. Like, because I grew up in the late 80s and in the mid 90s, just all the way, and it's just like you think about those things, like, it really wasn't that long ago. I was like 97. The other day they had a Woodstock 99. I watched that documentary. It's like, you know, I remember, you know, being around that time in college and just, you know, high school, college, doing all those things. And just like, I was listening to new metal, all that stuff, listening to Korn as you know, huge friend, everything. I was like, it wasn't that long ago. I was like 22 years.
All my friends went and they were going to jump the fence. Yeah, I know, Spin. I'm old. I'm getting up there. It's all these grays.
I'm there too. Yeah, I'm getting it, bro. I'm getting it all.
Try to keep them down so I can call them blonde, but it ain't cutting it no more.
Yeah, dude, it happens to the best of us. Like, luckily, I'm almost 40, and it's not just now coming in a little bit. My dad was like almost all the way gray by the time he was like almost 30. I think he was 29. He was almost all the way gray. So I was like, I'm doing a little bit better than he did.
It's not. Well, mine's just here, not some, and on the sides of my head it gets there, but it's, you know, but it's just right here. But I'm glad it's kind of filled in because it looked like fangs coming out of my chin. So at least filled out a little bit more, so it didn't look like I was growing fangs if it got too long. I swear the grays would grow like 3 times as fast as the other hairs. So
yeah, it's part of getting older, man. Because like right now, I'm all stilted, kind of sitting in a chair because I literally got out of the car wrong earlier and like tweaked my back, and I was like, oh my god, it's getting to that point now. I can't get out of the car without tweaking it a little bit. Now I can't really move to the left or right.
That's too funny because I've had a bad back since I've come in. Well, before I came in, and then I got a flat tire type deal. And long story, it was a nightmare. I was like 3 hours late for work, which is fine. I'm never late or nothing, but still, I lost 3 hours of work. Tweaked my back even worse, and I've been hobbling around all weekend. It's finally feeling a little better, but you know, it's not good. I've had surgery on my back, so every once in a while it kind of goes out, which sucks, but
it's part of it. That's the thing. That's what I was told us. I was like, yep, it's because like probably the last 5 years on and off, it's like usually it's the lower back hip area, and then it's like now it's like getting up with the shoulders. It's like, what is this? It's like moving now. It's like
Not
it's
ready
like
to buy myself a walker.
yes. No, I need the Changeling old school wheelchair. I don't know if you're a huge Changeling fan. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and that wheelchair scares the shit out of me in that movie.
I can only imagine.
Oh my god, dude! Like that's like very few things. Like I can literally sit here and chill with this creepy ass doll all day, not have any problems. But if I go into like some like creepy old house and I see like an old ass wheelchair like that, doesn't matter if it's moving or not. I'm freaked out because all I'm gonna remember is that movie and that wheelchair turning around and coming towards George C. Scott. It's like I'm done, bro.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I know what wheelchair you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, that's because yeah, that film was a huge influence on me, and I don't know if you do keep up with a lot of Mike Flanagan stuff. He did like The Haunting of Hill House, and he did Oculus and the Ouija Origin of Evil. All those films.
I watch a lot. Some of them, but it's not my favorite genre of horror. Is like the hauntings and stuff, because I've never been like a ghost, like believed in ghosts or anything. That's just something.
Me neither.
Like, people who believe in ghosts tend to believe more like those movies. Exorcism freaks me out and this and that. But it's just one thing that never scared me a whole lot. Not saying it doesn't. Like there's some that are like what was the movie? The doll movie we were just talking about.
Dead Silence.
Dead Silence.
Yeah.
I could deal with like that, and I liked like The Ring.
Yeah, The Ring. It tripped me out, bro.
But yeah, a lot of the haunted house type stuff. And I've watched some of them, but for me, they're forgettable just because I don't relate to them too much.
See, that's the opposite for me. What's weird is I don't believe in ghosts at all. Like I'm very much one of those people. I have to see stuff like that. I have to actually witness it, experience it. I'm like, okay, and that's good. I believe 100% that that's there with the ghosts and stuff. But for some reason, the film's just the idea. I get so enveloped in the film and the filmmaking, it scares the shit out of me. Like The Exorcist 2. The Exorcist scares the hell out of me every time, even though I know every single behind the scenes trick they used in that movie. I know exactly how they did everything, and I could still watch it, and I'm scared to death, dude. Like it's just, I don't know. There's just some things like that freak me out. I love it. Just same thing with the ghost thing. The ghosts don't scare me because I know they're there, but the idea of it, if that was actually happening, is what scares the hell out of me. I think that's what clicks in my head is like the idea if I was in that film. I mean, actually in the environment of the film.
Situation. So yeah,
yes, that's exactly what it is. The situation is I'm like
even though I know it's not real,
yeah.
Well, I could put myself in that situation if it was really happening. That'd mess me up.
Yeah, that's what throws me off.
Exorcism's a classic, and I really enjoy that. That's one of the very like that and Omen. I really like the Omen series too.
Richard Donner, dude, just amazing filmmaker. R.I.P. Recently died.
Yeah, he did. He was a legend.
Yeah, dude, he can do any genre, bro. If you think about it, he did horror. He did action with Lethal Weapon. He did the superhero genre with Superman, Goonies,
To me, Superman was like, I mean, you had the old shows and stuff, but it was the first one where it was like really special effects that came through for a superhero that was good.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some of the old like Shazam shows and, the old Spider-Mans where it was like, yikes.
Yeah, or like the Incredible Hulk show, where it's like he's like,
the Hulk show when I was a kid. Yeah. When I watched it as a kid, watching it now is a little harder because it's like, he never really did anything except for throw a table around.
It's like we only have enough budget for Ferengo for about 3 minutes.
Let's see, like what do they call it? One of those damage rooms where you smash things up. Yeah. Hey, at least Lou Ferrigno got to do that on a weekly basis.
Yeah, sure that's a good gig right there too. Is like get painted up, go in for 3 to 4 minutes. It's like basketball where you have somebody that comes in and just like a slasher, and they come in. It's just like, hey, he was in for 4 minutes. He put up 8 points. He got 3 rebounds. That's exactly what we needed to do. That's Ferrigno.
I want to check the chat, make sure if anybody's asking any questions. My friend Spin here. She says, ghosts aren't real. I'm scared of sharks every time. I'm scared of sharks too. Jaws was definitely a freaky movie. I watched, what was it? 37 meters down the other day.
Yeah,
Didn't
I've seen it.
No.
It's just not the same, even though 100% that is a fake shark in your jaws, and like in just some parts where you're just like you can literally see like parts of like the polyurethane starting to peel away. I don't care, dude. That it still scares me. Every time it freaks me out the idea of it. When that's the reason why I love that Spielberg didn't show up most of the time. But even whenever it's eating Quint, you can tell it's a mechanical shark. But Richard Shaw sells it so hard, dude. Like that death is like that death rattle scream gurgle he does. It's like, oh,
He was my favorite part of the first one. For sure. I mean, he's
brutal.
And I was watching something recently, a documentary where like a lot of the people that were on the ship that they were talking about when he was in the story, that it meant a lot to him that he did that and the way he portrayed it. They really respected how he did it. They felt like he really like was there too. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I definitely thought.
It's so intense, and that's what thing that sucks is I know they really haven't given that the treatment that it deserves. I know they did a really, really bad Nicolas Cage, like $1.5 million like bargain bin movie thing about the USS Indianapolis that was not good at all, And I've really wished Hollywood would do that. Just give it a good $50 to $75 million, make a legit solid drama about that, because that would be brutal, dude. That's one thing I have like high hopes for as far as them doing bigger budget stuff for like I said, the terrible real life situations like that, like The Terror. Did you watch The Terror by any chance? TV show?
I did not.
It came out like 2 years ago on AMC, maybe 3 years, and it was about the HMS Terror and the HMS Erebus that went and discovered the Northwest Passage, and basically, they get frozen up there in the Arctic, and then they ended up never finding them again. Nobody finds them for like 100 years. And basically it's telling like a somewhat fictional story with all these real characters about what happened to them. Because I think they found it like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, the actual ships. Everybody obviously died, like 400 or 500 men died up there, but they have it where it's like a horror story where like not only are like the men like killing each other and cannibalism, all this terrible shit, but there's also like this supernatural bear thing coming around and like killing everybody, tearing people to pieces. And it's got a bunch of
taking something that's true, but adding a little bit of fiction to it.
Oh yeah, and it's about 8 episodes, and it's hardcore, dude. They have a lot of good actors in it, but like, dude, one of the actors that was like Mance Rayder in Game of Thrones, he's in it. There's a bunch of Game of Thrones people in it, but it's brutal, dude. It's pretty violent. It was on AMC, but yeah, it's something I'd recommend if you like a nice little slow burn.
I do. I'm always down for it. Where it's what's going on with it to get to the story. I think that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to a lot of the projects. I mean, you definitely have that real creative side, and it's so impressive what you did with the doll on an iPhone. I mean, that was really impressive, and to see where you've gone from the doll to where you're going to now, and I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm excited about the Red River, Killer. I'm stoked about it. I think that looks really, really good. I think that's gonna really be a real important part to you growing after that, because I got a feeling you're gonna kill that one.
That's what I'm hoping, man. It's gonna be my feature debut, and I'm hoping to knock it out of the park. That's the thing is, we got a lot of great people involved so far. We're still in the crowdfunding phase right now. We're actually going to be, getting to more of some investment group stuff too, and seeing what other actors we can add to it, and see if we can get some, I guess some of those film festival favorites, some of those convention favorites to drop on in, and nice little small supporting roles. They could be awesome.
That'll be good. I want to get your I'm gonna post your link again.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man.
Guys, check it. And also he's on in the Doomsday's Crypt group, so you can always reach out to him, and you're more than welcome anytime to post your Indiegogo link there and promote your thing. I do that for my buddy Steve Merlo. He's doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel, so I've been really helping all these independent. That's why he mentioned your shirt.
Yeah, so I remember that earlier, dude. That's awesome, man.
That looks incredible. I think a lot of these indie projects look amazing. That's why I'm definitely down to be supporting them in any way I can, because I think that's really where filmmaking is. Hollywood's kind of dead. It's these new filmmakers. I think people are pretty tired of the retreads, and
I know I am. I know I'm tired of it.
What can we do? Well, what can we reboot now?
It's like,
Yeah.
what's the original idea? Oh no, it's it's this or that. One thing that just drives me nuts is I love when people have these amazing original ideas and they go all these different ways with it, and the studio likes to try to get a hold of it and chop it up. I was on a podcast the other day and we were talking about Event Horizon and thinking about, Paul W.S. Anderson said, they chopped that movie so much, and I like Event Horizon. It's a great horror sci-fi flick, but he said his original cut was so badass and they chopped up a lot of it, and just thinking, oh man, like how much a director's cut of Event Horizon would be legit. Like, I love that.
Like you said, I love that movie too. I thought it was fantastic, but yeah, that's why I like the independent projects. You guys can decide what you guys are doing without Hollywood and these people telling you, well, oh, that sounds good. I mean, that's what happened with Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. The producers the people got their hands, Hollywood got their hands in it so much that it just destroyed the whole script. Like what they started with was the reason it was called The Curse of Michael Myers was because it became a curse to work on that film. And I actually liked the film.
Yeah.
Kind of really went off course, but it's not Resurrection bad. I like the Mask actually. Got it back here.
Oh, yeah.
I love the Mask. Coming back to really cool Mask.
Yeah, see, I love that. See, that's why I'm excited for Halloween Kills, bro. Like, I'm so stoked for that. I love David Gordon Green, and like I'm loving this horror turn that him and Danny McBride are doing right now. That's another thing too. Just two guys that are, you see more from them and like the comedy genres and everything. All of a sudden, they come out with a pretty badass Halloween movie, and then now they have Halloween Kills coming up. Just writing it, both writing it too, and just like learning. Like Danny McBride's actually a really good writer. I really didn't realize how
he's a talented dude. I'm a fan of his because this comedy. It gets, he kind of had to turn it because he's kind of used that character quite a bit, but it was been funny for like Eastbound and Down was hilarious.
I love Eastbound.
I love that show. I mean, it got a little bad toward like the later seasons, but I mean, the first two seasons were really, really good.
Solid, bro. Solid. The first two seasons were so good.
So funny. Yeah, I always recommend that. I mean, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm a big comedy guy. I love stuff like that. But Danny McBride, but they say that's the thing with comedians is they can get through the serious roles like Bill Burr and what's his name, Lavelle Crawford.
Yeah,
were comedians and they were awesome in the show and they translate better. Like that's why I heard a lot of like Hollywood people go to these comedians. And I'll even give Chris Rock credit. I didn't really like Spiral that much. Saw a movie. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it wasn't as much as I wanted it to be.
No, I don't know. He's one comedian. I still have trouble translating from comedy to a serious acting role. He didn't translate too well. He didn't do terrible though. He did better than I thought, but he didn't translate too well for me.
I wish he would have expanded on New Jack City. Did you ever watch New Jack City back in the day? We played the crackhead, and he was so good in that. He did such a good job. And like he actually, like he was feeling it, but he really didn't go back and try to do those dramatic things. And we're like Will Smith around that time. I think he, gosh, what was the film? I'm trying to remember. He made this really serious drama in like 94 or so. And people were like, oh, dude, he's legit. Huh?
Was it the one with his son where he's with Jaden Smith, like one of the first? Is it that one you're thinking of?
Oh, no. That one I think was like from 05 or 06. This one was like 94 or so. It was like the pound. Something like
the first one. It was Will Smith played a gay character, and I heard he, regretted it.
So.
He didn't kiss. Wouldn't do an on-screen kiss at the time, and
dude, he did that.
What we're talking about, and I can't remember the name of it. Wasn't one of my favorite movies, but he definitely did a good job as a serious role. Will Smith's one that translates pretty well to serious.
Yeah, so that's the thing is they both did like dramatic roles after doing a history of comedy, in TV for a while. And it seemed like Will Smith kept jumping on that over and over again, but Chris Rock kind of just was like backed off of it. And I was like, man, I think he could have got better. Like he got his more of a chops. Like Will Smith kind of went and did like another 10 dramas down the road,
Well, I think he could have done, like you said, he could have done a lot more. Well, Jamie Foxx is one who translated pretty good.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Ray was Django. That was a great film, and he was funny. I mean, in Living Color, and I loved him on that show. It was the Jamie Foxx show. That was pretty fun.
That was a good one, man. Yeah, he was great in Collateral, which, by the way, Michael Mann movie. I'm a huge Michael Mann fan. I don't know if you like all his movies like Heat and all those. Like I fucking love Heat. He's a great great influence on me. But yeah, I love stuff like that.
That's good. You got a lot of influences, and you're not like, oh, this is, you definitely, it shows in your filmmaking. Like I said, with each one that you've done, they each bring something a little different. I don't think that you definitely, the doll is definitely different than her look.
Yes.
Those are two different spectrums. But I really love like I said, I love the series Predicament a whole lot. That was really good storytelling. You guys, if you haven't had a chance to, let me post your link again.
Oh, appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much.
Up there. I posted in. How the heck did I? Oh, that's why. I'm posting links in your chat. on your videos.
Oh yeah.
I can't walk with your gum, man. But here we go. Guys, make sure you check him out. All his stuff you can watch on YouTube too. And you can see what I'm talking about with her look, the doll. The doll was shot on an iPhone. Really great concept, I think. I'd love to see that fleshed out into a funded project, because I thought that was really good. It kind of left me hanging where, considering it was an iPhone, that doll scared the hell out of me. It definitely scared the hell out of me. It was, and when something's like, oh man, that thing's fucking freaky to me. That's always a good sign for me.
And it was a weird filmmaking experience, too. Like, I would get off work, and then I would literally walk around with a tripod with my phone and just go getting me like tiptoeing around, like back in front of the camera to do, like, after setting up these shots and getting the ideas. Cause like, especially like in the attic, I don't know if you remember the part where he first goes up the attic and finds the doll, right, and getting all that set up and trying to get the lighting set up as a cinematographer, still trying to learn how to get a lot of that figured out, but also knowing I have to be in front of the camera, and then going back and how many takes I had to do to try to get those shots just right.
You're behind the camera and in front of the camera. So yeah, I can see that being a little difficult. 6 degrees of separation. Thank you, B886.
That's it. Thank you so much.
He jumped in there, and I know he said hi, and I've been so caught up with talking to you. Let's make sure we didn't miss anybody. If they have any questions, let me look. It'll be easy right on here. Hey, Interval, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. We had some time. We have Camp Crystal Cabin 6. Sal was here. I don't know who's still in here, but appreciate y'all being here. But we might as well wrap this up. I got to get some stuff done. It's been awesome talking to you. We'll definitely have to do it again.
Yeah,
we'll down. Get Indiegogo on there. Anytime you want to talk about something going on, I'm down to do it, man. And we'll definitely keep in touch. We'll post Indiegogo up there. Feel free to do it on the Doomsday's Crypt on Facebook anytime. If you have updates or anything, feel free to do it, man. Use the platform any way you can. And like I said, there's tons of talent there. So as you're a filmmaker, you'll look right on there, and I could recommend a whole bunch of people if you ever need somebody to come through and design something cool for you. So keep in touch with them. There's some real talent on that page. It's like, wow, these guys are awesome.
Yeah, this has been fun, man. This has been a great conversation, and that's why I like these kind of interviews, podcasts, and stuff like that. I love the free form conversation, man. You never know where it's going to go. I love that.
I wrote a piece of paper like this. I just wanted to make sure I didn't screw up any names or anything, and I kept it pretty simple. And every question that I had written down, like how many scripts have you written, I didn't ask you that. But what got you started, your influences, your favorite genre, and it asked a little bit about Chance, and because I know you guys have worked together a lot. Are you guys partners on Tin Star Films, or is that yours alone?
That's mine. He has Bar G Moving Pictures. We all have our little production companies. He's being the umbrella production company for Red River Expressway Killer, just tax purposes and all those kind of things, to where that we're going under the umbrella of his film company. So on his production company.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, hey, you work together, man. It sounds like you guys got a really good working relationship.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we'll definitely keep in contact. I'm going to be supporting you on Indiegogo. I got to get a perk there. Like I said, let's anything you need done, any updates you got, what's going on with anything you're doing, feel free. That's what that group is for. Share our talent and support each other. There's other independent filmmakers out on there too that I'm sure you guys could network together too. And that's what's great about, like you said, with the horror community. It's always, if you make the right connections with people, there's always future projects and things you can work on with different people, and there's so many talented people out there. So good luck to you, man. It's been a lot of fun. This was my first sit-down interview, so it was a lot of fun for me too.
Awesome.
It's something to get more into. I've just pretty much reviewed all this stuff I got. So now trying to move into interviews and talking a little bit more and learning a little bit more. And I learned a lot with you.
No, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I enjoyed sitting here and talking to you. And also, dude, I love your attention to detail. I love the fact that you took the time to look into a lot of my stuff that you means the world.
I was like, oh, this dude's doing a film. Let me check him out. Hey, you want to do an interview? Yeah. You want to do it in a few days? Sure. So it was cool that we were able to get it together, get it done, and have a fun interview and get to know each other a little bit and tell people a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate it.
I got your back. I want to make sure I help you share out at any way I can and help give you any attention I can on my end.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I look forward to the next conversation.
Absolutely, my friend. Maybe next time we'll get Chance on there and you guys
can
discuss some things. I bet you that'd be a fun conversation with you too.
Oh yeah, for real, man.
We'll discuss something in the near future that we can hang out. I'm sure people would love to learn more. So
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm going to let you take it. You can say bye to and whatever any last words you have.
See everybody later. I guess if I have a few plugs, obviously the Red River Expressway Killer is coming up soon with the Indiegogo campaigns ending in about 30 hours or so. We're going to go back into, it's not going to end. It's actually just, it's going to go into in demand at that point. It'll be up another 6 months, just getting some stuff from here and there. Also, I've got the Longhorn Film Festival in Fort Worth. It's going to be on September 19th earlier in the day. And then the evening of September 19th, we're going to have the premiere of Amityville Cult in Denton, Texas at Rubber Gloves. And then I've also got the Corpus Christi Film Festival coming up in October. Her Look's going to be playing at that. And that's all I got really at the top of my head. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, just hit me up in the group. I'm super approachable. I love to talk, man. I'm one of you guys. That's the thing. I'm one of you guys, and I'm still trying to learn the filmmaking path, and that's the only way you can learn it is by asking other people.
You're killing it, man, for really starting in 2019 with all the obstacles 2020 has really brought us, and hopefully 2021 doesn't keep going the direction it's going. But
yeah,
I mean, you've accomplished a lot. You should be real proud about what you're doing. I'm excited about it. So really looking forward to it. Any last questions, guys? I think everybody's saying good night. Well, Jason, it was a lot of fun talking, man. We're going to definitely be in touch. Keep me updated anytime. Send me a message. We were friends on Facebook, and appreciate it. Thank you.
You too as well, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, anytime, my friend.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
See you guys later.